Now please help me welcome a man I love and admire, my husband and your governor, Greg Abbott.
God bless Texas. First he let the sunshine, then he let the water deep.
Howdy, RGV. You know, the only thing that could be better than being in the RGV, we've got a lot of friends over here supporting us, it looks like. But I'll just tell you this. I can't hear what they're saying, but I think they're saying, welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. And I will tell you this, the only thing better than being in the Rio Grande Valley is being in the Rio Grande Valley with my wonderful wife, Cecilia. Thank you for being a fabulous First Lady for our great state. You know, Alex was doing a good job of talking about all that Cecilia has done, and I just want to echo some of those things because she has been such a loving mother and wife. She's been a role model by being a terrific teacher and principal. But I'm proud, as you are, about the fact that my wife made Texas history when she became the first Hispanic First Lady in the history of our great state. Thank you, Cecilia Abbott. Well, it's great to join you here at this Hispanic Leadership Summit. And I'm proud of all of the Hispanic leaders who are a part of this summit today, some of whom are from right here in the RGV, others of whom are from across the entire state of Texas. But I think all of whom are doing a fabulous job of spreading the message that in the heart of Hispanics, they really are Republicans, and together they will keep Texas red. Now, I'm back in the Rio Grande Valley so much because I so much care about this region. In fact, I have been to the Rio Grande Valley more than any other governor in the history of Texas. But I do more than just visit the Rio Grande Valley. I deliver for the people of the Rio Grande Valley. Some examples. Before I was governor, the Rio Grande Valley had no level 1 trauma center. What that meant is people who suffer traumatic injuries, they might have to go all the way to San Antonio or Corpus Christi or some other place in order to be treated. That was unacceptable. And so I promised that South Texas and the Rio Grande Valley would get a level 1 trauma center, and now the Rio Grande Valley has one right here in Hidalgo County. I promised more higher education opportunities, and now the Rio Grande Valley has the Texas A&M Higher Education Center right here in McAllen, Texas. I promised more roads, and we have provided more than $2 billion in road funding for the RGV since I have been your governor. To ensure that you all are going to have the power that you're going to need to be able to meet the demands of a growing population as well as a growing economy, I am supporting a $1 billion electrical power line to the RGV. I also promised more jobs. And get this, just last month, more people in Hidalgo County had a job than ever before in Texas history. The fact of the matter is that the Rio Grande Valley is truly brimming with promise. It's the promise of opportunity, of prosperity, and hope. The opportunity for a better job, the opportunity for a better education, the opportunity for a better quality of life. It is the prosperity that isn't reserved for just a few. It goes to every single person across the entire state of Texas in every single region. And hope, the hope that every generation will have a brighter future. And it's a promise that's not found just in the Rio Grande Valley, but in every community across our state. Together, all of us, we have put Texas on a remarkable path toward a brighter future. A Texas where working families can do far more than just get by. They can flourish under the opportunities of the 9th largest economy in the entire world. A Texas where students don't simply graduate with a diploma, but they graduate with the preparation and the inspiration to take on college or to take on a career. A Texas where every parent can rest easy knowing that their families are safe in their communities. And a Texas where we protect our constitutional rights and your individual liberties. That is the Texas that we have worked so hard to create. But we must fight to keep it that way. Because some want a completely different Texas. Where we have cut taxes, they would raise them. Where we have created jobs, they would destroy them. Where we have supported our law enforcement officers, they would defund them. Where we have protected your constitutional rights, they threaten to take them away. And where we promote Texas exceptionalism, they engage in fear-mongering. We cannot let big government liberals redesign our state with the progressive agenda that is destroying some parts of America. We need a proven winner who will fight to secure the future of Texas. And that is why today I am in the Rio Grande Valley to officially announce my re-election to run as your governor of the great state of Texas. Now listen, ever since you elected me to be governor, I've worked every day to deliver for the people of Texas. Despite the unprecedented challenges that we have faced, Texas has persevered. And now, as you have seen and heard, more and more businesses are moving here. More and more Texans are working here than ever before in the history of our state. I promised to create an environment that would spur our economy and create more jobs. And together, we have made Texas an economic juggernaut. Every year that I've been governor, Texas has been named the best state for business in the United States of America. Every year that I'm a governor, Texas has been ranked the #1 state in America for the most business relocations and business expansions. In this past year, we set an all-time record with 73 businesses moving their headquarters to the state of Texas, and that is almost double the second best year we've ever had in Texas history. Importantly, with those businesses come good paying jobs for our families and for our communities. But importantly, it's not just large companies. We also promised to help small businesses, and that is exactly what we've achieved. Texas is now ranked the #1 state in America to start a small business. And because of our employers, both large and small, more Texans have jobs today than under any governor in Texas history. Now, hundreds of thousands of those good-paying jobs are in the energy sector, the sector that has made America energy independent. And we cannot allow these leftist promoters of the Green New Deal to destroy those high-paying energy jobs. So one of the reasons why I am running for re-election is to secure the future of energy jobs in the Lone Star State. And the Texas economy is more diverse than ever. Texas is the #1 state in America for jobs created by black business owners and by Hispanic women business owners. The fact is, the Texas economy works for absolutely everybody. Now, to help all of our business owners and operators open and operate successfully during COVID, we promised that we would pass COVID liability protection, and we did. We promised to expand broadband access, and we did. Whether you work from home or in an office, today's economy requires broadband access. And it was particularly important to close the digital divide in rural Texas. No governor has done more to achieve that goal than I have, and we will continue our commitment to rural Texas and getting broadband to the rural regions across our great state. We promised to provide relief on franchise taxes and unemployment taxes, and we delivered on that promise. And now I'm running for governor to cut business taxes even more. Speaking of taxes, I promised Texans that we would cut your property taxes. And we have, in every legislative session that I've been governor, altogether, property taxes have been slashed by more than $18 billion during my tenure as your governor. But I realize, not enough Texans actually see that $18 billion in property tax relief that we have delivered. There may be reasons for that. One of them are these skyrocketing appraisals that you get every year. Another is that taxing authorities rack up more debt that can increase property taxes. It is time to change that. So I'm running for governor to pass a taxpayer's bill of rights to protect you from skyrocketing property taxes in Texas. I'm also running to ensure that the next generation will be equipped for the jobs of the future. To secure the workforce of the future, we need to provide a quality education for our children. I promised to give Texas children the opportunity at a high-quality early education, and we delivered on that promise. I am the only governor to prioritize early education and to sign it into law. I also promised to invest more in public education, and we delivered on that promise. No governor has devoted more resources to public education than I have. In 2019, we increased public education funding by more than $5 billion per biennium. And then in 2021, we added even more. And we also promised to increase teacher pay. We delivered on that promise. We increased teacher pay by more than $1.1 billion a year. But listen, we realize that education is about more than just funding. It's about effective strategies that lead to results. To achieve those goals, we created reading and math academies, and we are rewarding schools based upon the results they deliver. We will fund our schools, but we expect our schools to provide a good quality education for our children. I also promised to improve higher education, and we delivered on that promise. We created the Governor's University Research Initiative to attract the brightest minds to our universities. And since I've been governor, we have more than doubled the number of Tier 1 research universities in Texas. This positions Texas as a leading center for innovation and provides our children with the quality education that will lead to high-paying jobs in their future. But listen, we know that college may not be the right path for everybody. Instead, for many, a high-skilled career is a better option. So, we championed technical education. And I signed a law. That funds apprenticeship programs that train Texans for good-paying jobs. Let me give you an example of how we've seen this work. I visited one of the companies that is adopting this apprenticeship program. Its name is S&B Engineers and Constructors. And when I visited them, I met a woman there who went through this apprenticeship program. And in visiting with her, she told me that just a few years before that, she was homeless. And she told me about how going through that apprenticeship program and working her way up the ladder, she now owns her own home. And I asked her how much she was making. And she told me, and I told her, so a few years ago you were homeless. Today, after this program, you are now making more than the governor of Texas. That is what these programs can do. But at the end of the day, no government program can replace the role that parents play in the education of their children. And yet, the essential role of parents is being diminished by government itself. Parents are losing a voice when it comes to their children's education and even their health care. Many parents feel powerless to be able to do anything about it. That must end. I am running for governor to bolster a parent's Bill of Rights, to restore parents as the primary decision makers over their child's education and health care matters. Parents matter, and we will put parents at the forefront of children and the future of Texas. Well, listen, as we secure a brighter future for the next generation, we also need to support our seniors. After years of working their way to a very well-deserved retirement, our seniors shouldn't struggle just to try to find ways to make ends meet. I am running for re-election to create a compact with our seniors, a compact that will reduce their cost of living, increase their safety, and improve access to senior programs in Texas. Our seniors deserve safe communities. All Texans deserve safe communities. So when I heard radical liberals making calls to defund the police, I promised we would not let that happen in Texas. In Texas, we support our law enforcement officers, period. Is there any man or woman in the crowd today who serves as a law enforcement officer in your community or in the state of Texas? If you are, please stand up. In the back over here, in the back over here, thank you for what you do for our great state. Oh, right over here. Thank you all. We delivered on our promise by passing a law that will defund any city that defunds their law enforcement officers. I am running for re-election to ensure no radical liberal will ever defund law enforcement in our great state. But listen, as we all know, one of the greatest safety threats to Texas is the reckless and dangerous open border policies of President Joe Biden. I promise to do more than any governor ever to secure our border and keep our communities safe. And we responded with the strongest border security effort by any state ever in the history of the United States of America. We provided $3 billion to secure the border and added 15 laws to crack down on the heinous crime of human trafficking. We must end the exploitation of women and children who are trafficked across the border into the United States of America. We will not relent until we achieve that goal. And I have deployed thousands of National Guard troops and DPS officers to secure the border, to crack down on the smuggling of the deadly, dangerous drug fentanyl, and to arrest and jail criminals. And now, Texas is building its own border wall. I am running for re-election to ensure that Texas continues to secure our border and keep our fellow Texans safe. But it's more than safety that's at stake in this election. Our very freedom is on the ballot. As your governor, I have fought for your freedoms guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States of America. But some running for governor of Texas threaten your First Amendment freedom of religion. They want to end the tax-exempt status of churches that refuse to bow down to the woke radical agenda. I won't allow it. To the contrary, I signed a law to prevent any government official from ever closing churches, infringing on your right to go worship God Almighty and your church of choice. Mark my words. Freedom is on the ballot. When college campuses threaten conservative speech, I signed a law to protect free speech on college campuses. When social media companies tried to silence conservative viewpoints, we banned big tech censorship in Texas. And while some have threatened to come and take your guns, I signed more than 20 laws to protect your Second Amendment rights. Including making Texas a constitutional carry state. And making Texas a Second Amendment sanctuary state. I've got news for the leftist liberals. As long as I am governor, your right to keep and bear arms will never be infringed. Texans face a very profound question this election. Do we take a left turn that leads to more government and less freedom? A path that would destroy jobs, open our borders, and endanger our communities? Or do we maintain the course that has secured greater freedom, more jobs, and safer communities? I am running for governor to keep Texas on the right course. I believe Texas will be more prosperous if we cut your taxes. I believe our future will be brighter if we empower our parents over their children's rights. I believe Texas will be better if we support our seniors. I believe Texas will be safer if we back the blue and secure our border. And I know Texas will be freer if we defend the Constitution and protect your individual liberties. But to win, I need your help. Can I count on you? Let me hear from you. Can I count on you to join me in this fight for the future of Texas? All of us, we're building a movement that starts right here, right now in Hidalgo County and will spread across the entire state of Texas. A movement that will defend our values from being hijacked by a liberal agenda. A movement that will uphold the promise of Texas, the promise of opportunity, prosperity, and hope for every single Texan. Working together, we will win and keep Texas the best state in the greatest country in the history of this entire world. God bless you all, and God bless the great state of Texas.
In mysterious ways, he took a rest, then on the very next day, God bless Texas with his own hand, brought down angels from the promised land, gave them a place where they could dance. If you want to see heaven, brother, here's your chance. Well, I've been sent to spread the message. God bless Texas. Change.